In Glacier National Park, YouTuber Trevor Rasmussen had his peaceful hike completely ruined after being stalked by a truly fearless mountain lion. After spotting the animal staring at him from down the trail, he immediately pulls out his camera in order to record this rare encounter.
I'm hiking on the trail. There's a mountain lion right there. It's probably like 50 feet away from me. Staring right at me.
Just a few seconds later, the predator, unfortunately, begins approaching him, while he, obviously, starts panicking.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
The animal walks down the side of the trail and into some bushes in hopes to continue on its path.
Oh, man. Okay, dude. Okay.
Thankfully for him, though, the mountain lion decides to mind its own business and gives up on its hopes for a nice meal, while Trevor is left standing there in utter disbelief. During a hiking trip in Saguaro National Park, an innocent woman got locked in an intense face-off with a frightening cougar, and the outcome is freaky. This intense video starts out when the unsuspecting hiker catches sight of an intruder in the trees above her campsite and starts recording.
There's a cougar in the tree above me. I had a feeling. The way those deer were acting.
Refusing to be overcome by fear, this brave woman attempts to scare off the mountain lion by screaming, but it remains unfazed.
Hey! Hey!
When yelling doesn't work, she desperately decides to throw stones at the predator, which hopefully won't make it any angrier.
Hey! Get! Hey!
Seemingly bored with the confrontation, the animal heads out moments later, leaving the hiker to seek refuge in her tent. While attempting to save the life of an injured mountain lion, YouTuber Birdman of Arkansas was faced with an unexpected outcome. At first, he approaches the cougar with a stick and receives a hostile response. Next, he tries using a plant, but the response is unfortunately the same. Refusing to be deterred, the man continues to try method after method until he attempts the unimaginable.
You got it, you got it.
All right, dog's going.
Despite being so close to victory, the animal manages to free itself at the very last second, forcing the men to approach things differently. In the seconds that follow, the man thankfully succeeds in taming the animal and eventually puts the video to an end. Lion. At first, the predator seems to be investigating the property, while the brave husky does its absolute best to fight it off. Clearly unfazed by the dog, the cougar continues to roam around the driveway when a large German shepherd decides to join the fight. Now being continuously circled by these two brave dogs, the mountain lion appears to become increasingly desperate for a way out. the man stops recording, and the outcome, sadly, remains unknown. In British Columbia, an unarmed man had his relaxing hike quickly turn for the worse when he ended up being relentlessly stalked by a fearless mountain lion. Initially, he pulls out his camera after spotting the sneaky animal slowly creeping up on him from the tall grass up ahead.
This is really freaky. That is a mountain lion. And he's stalking me.
They both stare each other down for many stressful minutes before the predator unfortunately decides that it wants to come get a closer look.
Hey, Mr. Mountain Lion. How are you doing?
Now in panic mode, the man stands there in absolute fear while the curious predator begins slowly circling around him. This eventually leads to another intense stare down between the two that goes on for many minutes. The clip jumps to another point where the man seems to have moved up the trail, but sadly, it seems like he still isn't alone.
Stay back. Stay there. I'm not afraid of you.
Finally, the animal, thankfully, loses interest and simply walks away while the man stands there in utter disbelief. Near the village of Tassis, British Columbia, this group of friends in a canoe had a truly unexpected close call with a fearsome mountain lion. The clip begins with a member of the group taking out his camera to record the beautiful surroundings when he sees this. Upon noticing that the vicious animal is rapidly swimming towards them, the friends attempt to get away, but to no avail. Luckily for the trio, the cougar seems to lose interest at the last minute and proceeds to swim away in another direction. In Arizona, what was supposed to be a normal hunting expedition with some dogs turned out to be something much more horrifying. Curtis from the eHunter YouTube channel and his friends decided that it was the perfect day to take out the horses and go on a nice hunt. Everything seemed to be going as planned up until the dogs spotted something and chased it all the way to the edge of a steep cliff. The hunters quickly get around to taking a look at the animal for themselves and realize that it's actually a very fierce mountain lion. Unfortunately for the animal, though, it appears to be stuck in a crevice with absolutely nowhere to go. For multiple minutes, the cougar just sits there, all while letting out a few terrifying hisses at the dogs that keep harassing it with loud and constant barking. Perhaps it's also a way for it to show off its sharp and lethal teeth. Eventually, the wise predator finds a way to squeeze through an opening and immediately runs up a nearby mountain to disappear back into the desert. In some rural area, 4 brave men stumbled upon a trapped but very fierce mountain lion and decided that they were going to attempt the impossible. After spotting the poor animal, they equip themselves with restraining poles and begin to slowly approach it. Very clearly, the fierce cougar is not too happy about having visitors.
If he comes to you, he'll get you there. Yeah, come in from the side.
After carefully planning their approach, one of the men courageously attempts to hook the animal with his pole in order to pull it towards him. What happens next is truly incredible.
We got him. We got it. Michael, we're good. You gotta hold him for a sec. Okay, we're done.
Okay, Charlie, get away from there.
With the predator now free from the trap, the man on the restraining pole now has only one thing left to do.
Release him and go?
Yeah.
Run like hell?
Oh no, that ain't gonna work.
Got it in his mouth.
Thankfully, they manage to safely retrieve their restraining pole and proceed to proudly move on with their day. In Calero County Park, San Jose, a biker and his companions came face to face with a sneaky mountain lion. Can you see it? At the beginning of the video, the excited biker announces that he's spotted a mountain lion hiding behind some bushes and had begun recording, hoping to get footage of it on its way out.
Literally 10 feet over there. Let's wait for Carly. We'll see it climb up. Hey, Mom. There's a mountain lion literally on the other side of that.
After moments of waiting, the youngster realizes that the cougar has no intention of coming out, so he decides to go after it.
I want to get some footage.
Upon reaching the bushes, the biker and his crew receive a rude shock when they come face to face with the predator.
Holy you're big. I'm a little scared. I'm looking it in the eyes. It's looking at me.
Fascinated by what he had just seen, the youngster decides to end the video to get pictures of the mountain lion, so it is unclear what happens next. During a spring bear hunt, two close friends had a horrifying encounter that left them utterly paralyzed in fear for minutes on end. While walking along a trail in the woods, one of the men glances into the bushes and catches sight of a large cougar. Immediately, he pulls out his camera and starts recording.
I got it right on camera. Oh, they're starting to move. Holy how big is it? I don't know for sure, but...
Quietly, the men continue to shadow and film the predator as it goes about its activities, seemingly oblivious to their presence. A few moments later, the mountain lion wanders deeper into the forest, leaving the two hunters to finally sigh in relief. Some small rural town, a cougar relaxing on someone's front porch wasn't too happy about being interrupted by incoming cops. At first, the man pulls out his camera after spotting the cop car pulling up to the side.
I agree with you, Kitty. I don't like it when they show up either. This is awesome.
Eventually, the brave police officers can be seen slowly approaching the scene with their guns and peeking through the fence in order to spot the animal.
It's looking right at you. It's looking right at you.
As the officers come closer, the predator quickly notices their presence and immediately begins to tense up. One of the armed men bravely makes his way across the yard, which quickly triggers the animal to react.
Oh, wow. No, he's going into the backyard. He's in my yard now.
With the animal now in his yard, the man begins to worry as even more armed police officers begin searching around in hopes to locate the predator. For some reason, the cops walk into the tall grass to advance their search.
They just chased into the tall grass. They'll never find it there. They're sitting ducks. Oh, you boys don't know what you just put yourselves into.
Unfortunately, he stops recording there, and what happens next, sadly, remains a mystery. In Oregon, YouTuber Cody Fox and his friend had absolutely no idea what their seemingly average turkey hunting trip had in store for them. After walking around the vast forest for a couple hours, they begin to worry after coming across what seems to be freshly made cougar footprints.
Oh, bro, on that side. Got us a little kitty.
Although terrifying, they decide not to completely panic and simply go on with their day like normal. This very quickly changes after they heard a low cougar growl coming from right behind them.
Cougar.
No.
Cougar right here. It literally just growled at us.
After failing to locate the animal for many minutes of looking, Cody alerts his friend that he'll be firing a warning shot in order to scare it away.
Warning shot. Ready?
Thankfully for them, the animal remains nowhere to be seen, and the men decide to walk away altogether, while they still can. In Victoria, BC, things got a little out of hand when the local police were forced to battle it out with a stray mountain lion. At the start of the video, a mountain cat is seen walking around in a residential area, and suddenly it disappears. Immediately, the cops in the area swing into action and start searching for the predator. Halfway into the search, the unexpected happens. The search goes on for a few more minutes, and eventually the determined authorities capture the cougar with the aid of animal tranquilizers. After taking all necessary measures, the police officers carefully transport the mountain cat to their vehicle, with plans to set it free in a suitable environment. If you're a dog lover, this next clip might give you overwhelming levels of anxiety. At the start of the video, a hunter releases his 3 dogs and begins to record their movements as they start searching for nearby animals. In a matter of minutes, all 3 dogs are out of sight. When the owner catches up to them again, he is shocked by what he sees. Now seriously worrying for their safety, the hunter calls off his dogs, allowing the predator to take off running, but what happens next is not what he wanted.
Well, let's go, let's go. Come on, let's go.
The video unfortunately ends there, and what happened to those dogs afterwards remains a mystery. In South Dakota, 2 friends had their seemingly average turkey hunting trip take a truly unexpected turn. While roaming around the deep forest, they unfortunately identify what seems to be freshly made footprints in the snow.
Look at that. That's his track right there. It's as big as my fist. And then he ran up there.
Although weird, they don't think much of it and decide to move on with their day. That's until they discover something else that seriously begins to make them worry.
We found a mountain lion kill. There's mountain lion tracks everywhere, and it's hidden these trees, and it's covered in hair.
The next day, this all finally makes sense when they spot a huge mountain lion staring at them just up the hill.
Oh my god, there's a freaking mountain lion. Look at that. Those deer are about to get pounced on.
Oh, there he goes.
Out of nowhere, it sprints up the hill and roams around the top for a little bit, but eventually walks down the other side and disappears back into the vast forest.